Ladies and gentlemen, Vanguard Zombies is finally here, and it looks to be the most gruesome, gritty zombies we've had yet. There is so much to talk about with Vanguard Zombies, but in this video, we're going to be breaking down everything you need to know about Call of Duty Vanguard Zombies. So much information about zombies was released today. I guarantee there's some bits that you don't know about that you missed, and some surprises you did not expect to see. So it goes without saying, you must watch this video all the way through to the end because you don't want to miss a single thing. Just before we kick things off, if you love the look of zombies so far, you need to leave a like and subscribe to this channel right now. You done that? Let's go. Call of Duty Vanguard Zombies kicks off with the first experience being called Der Anfang. Translated in German to the beginning, this is where it all began with the opening of the Dark Aether Gateway at Project Endstation, which becomes the first map in Cold War Zombies Die Maschine. After the experiment went catastrophically wrong and punched a hole through the dimensional veil, the effects traveled far and wide. Now the big question on everyone's minds, is this Outbreak? Is this Onslaught? Is this round-based? What is it? Well, it seems to be a combination of all three. Der Anfang combines elements of classic round-based zombies maps with the objective-based gameplay mechanics introduced in Cold War, along with fresh innovations never seen before in zombies. This is obviously going to be quite a heavily discussed portion of the zombies mode in this game, but this seems to offer a lot of fun for both casual fans and hardcore fans. And as us being hardcore fans, we want to know how this will feel compared to traditional zombies. And they mentioned that the further you go in this mode, the deeper you go, and the varied and challenging play spaces you come across, it really takes on the relentless excitement of higher rounds in classic zombies maps. This isn't a round-based zombies experience. Just before we explore the narrative world tied to this, which looks incredible, let's talk about how the gameplay itself works. The match starts right in the center of Stalingrad with a small starting area where you can fight zombies, access several upgrade machines, view the initial 3 objective portals, and a few other surprises. The first decision is on which objective portal to interact with. So on day 1, there will be 3 objectives available to the player: Blitz, Transmit, and Harvest. And this will all be played across 4 maps: Stalingrad, the main hub, and then Paris, Merville, and Shinonuma as the main objective maps, which you will play those 3 objectives on. And for shorter matches, players will want to pick and choose the objectives and locations they feel they'll have the best chance of succeeding in, or focus on opening up the portion of the map that contains the perks they prefer. So with that in mind, it seems that certain perks are only going to be available on certain maps within this mode, which may be great news to some players who appreciated certain maps for having certain perks. And if you're playing for a longer play session, you'll need to plan more thoughtfully to open up even more of the map and aim for personal records. So what happens when you complete an objective? Well, that's core to the gameplay loop, awarding essence and salvage, which return as 2 crucial in-game currencies. Additionally, and more importantly, you're also rewarded with a sacrificial heart, used to gain buffs at the new Altar of Covenants. We'll explain all about that in a moment. The mystery box will also increase in power over time, giving you a random chance of really boosting your power. New perk fountains will become available as the map opens up, and after the 4th objective has been complete, you'll gain the ability to start the optional exfil event, allowing you to end the match at your own pace. So what is this new Altar of Covenants? Well, this is the main method for a player to truly define their gameplay build for that round, and after every objective, players are rewarded with a sacrificial heart to spend at the Altar of Covenants, offering a wide variety of randomized upgrades to choose from, such as Ammo Gremlin, Brain Rot, or Unholy Ground. In this screenshot, we can see Ammo Gremlin as well as Resurrectionist, which is a legendary which revives allies much faster and automatically revive nearby allies, which sounds like a quick revive on steroids. By the looks of it, it seems that potentially we might have some perks changed into this Covenants mode for better or for worse, and some of the tiers that we saw added with these perks in Cold War could also be implemented as Covenant abilities. This Resurrectionist sounds insane. Some of these also sound like a little bit of Gobblegum / Elixir hybrids, where we've got the Splatterfest, where enemies killed by explosions have a chance to explode, and we see the active ones, which include Bloodlust, where melee attacks do more damage and heal you, which we sort of have in Cold War, Cryo Freeze, which is another alternate ammo type, which to me seems like maybe we aren't getting those in the Pack-a-Punch anymore, and Dead Accurate, where successful shots on the same enemy deal more damage. And then on this screen, we've got a new one called Death Blow, which is a rare where critical kills return a bullet to the clip. These Altar of Covenants will also provide covenants of increasing rarity and power as the match goes on, so keep an eye out for those legendary covenants as you survive further in the game. Now, seeing Brain Rot here makes me think that the alternate ammo types available at the Pack-a-Punch machine might not not be a thing in this game. I don't see why they get rid of it, but it seems like a weird reward. The real question is, why would you use this and how does this change up the actual gameplay? And this says it allows you to lean into a specific play style. So as an example, there are viable player builds that lean into melee and equipment use over guns. This would be a build utilizing Bloodlust, which means melee attacks do more damage and heal, Motherload, a chance to keep equipment after use, and Splatterfest, where enemies killed by explosions have a chance to explode. And since the player only has access to a few at a time, they may choose to alter playstyles mid-game because of a legendary covenant that becomes available later on. Now with that context, this genuinely sounds like a really fun new addition to gameplay. So how does it work with weapons? Well, just like with Cold War, you'll load in with a primary weapon and artifact of choice, although this time around you'll need to earn backup weapons by looting chests, killing zombies, and gambling on the mystery box in place of traditional wall buys. So wall buys have gone bye-byes. Our massive question is, how long is each match going to last? And this is crucial here. They say that most matches can end with a successful exfil in 20 minutes. Now I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Completing this mode in 20 minutes does not sound long at all. However, this means completing 4 objectives and surviving the exfil. However, only a portion of the full Stalingrad hub will be open at that point. And if you want to push on to deeper runs, those matches could last several hours, if not days. Now, the one worry I have with this is how each experience is going to feel different. And they go on record to say every time you enter a new match, the objectives, their locations, and the covenants provided will all be different compared to the match before. This is where players will need to adapt their playstyle to the tools at hand, which varies up the gameplay in new ways. And playing with other people in co-op also mixes this up. Do you define roles so that only one player is using a covenant slot on Resurrectionist? Sounds like their new take on a medic style role. Or does each player try to maximize their offense and hope for the best? Now, one important question on everyone's minds when it comes to this is Easter eggs. What are the hardcore fans like us looking to expect with this? Stalingrad, Paris, Merville, and Shinonuma will feature a lot of interactable radios and Dark Ether runestones that contain intel recordings, further fleshing out the characters, locations, and backstory of this chapter of the Dark Ether saga. And the story is going to continue to evolve after Vanguard launches, taking us to new locations with new objectives and new characters. Veteran players apparently have a lot to look forward to in this brand new experience. So let's dive into that story. This 4-person co-op mode continues and expands on the Dark Ether story first experienced in Cold War, set in World War II in the ruins of Stalingrad. This new incarnation takes players to the darkest corners of the occult, where mortals bond with Dark Ether entities to gain immeasurable power. Us as Special Forces operatives are stranded in the snowy graveyard of Stalingrad with no backup and no means of communication, held in by the dark magic of Kortifex the Deathless. Now, Kortifex is one of the 5 Dark Ether entities bonded with mortals via their otherworldly artifacts. This big demon guy we've been seeing all this time is called Kortifex the Deathless. Now, there are 4 other Dark Ether entities with incredible names. Sarexis the Shadow, Nauticus the Conqueror, Invictor the Destroyer, and Bellica the Warlock are in revolt against Kortifex. Now, we as the player are introduced to these Dark Ether entities via their artifacts, which were plundered by antagonist Oberfuhrer Wolfram von List. This officer was in command of the Die Warhype Battalion in search of mystical antiquities to help turn the tide of the war in the Germans' favor. Von List has now been bonded with Kortifex and has gained the power to raise the dead. And what better field to create an army of the undead than the mass graves of Stalingrad, which follow a year on from the Germans' worst defeat in one of the war's most decisive battles. We have one slim hope in the form from unexpected sources. Professor Gabriel Kraft, a demonologist forced by Von List to uncover the 5 artifacts, sent out the initial distress call that got the operatives stuck here in the first place. With Gabriel's guidance and the help of the 4 other Dark Ether entities fighting against Kortifex, who all can give us special new powers, there might be some way to break the containment spell and keep the undead from sweeping across Europe. Now, if you didn't notice already, several mechanics that we're used to are returning, such as the Pack-a-Punch machine, which is back as the Forge machine from Cold War Zombies. And when it comes to perks, oh my god, these perks look absolutely insane. These are in the form of perk fountains, which we as the player will dive a archaic goblet in to drink from to get that perk power. And it seems that these perks are going to be tied to certain maps, and also we're getting a load of brand new perks not seen before. We see stamina, which looks to be pretty similar to the icon that we're all very used to, but then in this shot that pans up, it's very hard to see, but the icon just looks like a massive crack where we're looking into something, but It's a red color. Can't really tell what it is. Could it be the new version of Juggernog? I have no idea. Let me know what you think. Then we pan to see this new perk being drunk, which again, we can't tell what that is. It looks brand new. Potentially double tap, as it has a resemblance to that perk icon, but it looks more like just a flow of some sort of liquid or energy. Speed Cola is also noticed at some point, but there's so much footage to break down that I genuinely haven't been able to find the few seconds that they show it. One seems to look like a mouth with teeth, which could be Blood Wolf Bite, which we saw in Black Ops 4 Zombies, which offered us AI companion in the form of a wolf called Luna that would go ahead and bite zombies when it spawned in. Perhaps we'll get some sort of dark ether entity that's friendly that will help us out. Now, as mentioned earlier, with the return of Essence and Salvage, the crafting benches have returned, but interestingly, one change they've made is you use the benches to get yourself armor now. We don't have a separate arsenal station. And another thing that's absent in this menu is the option to upgrade the tiers of your weapons. So potentially we're not going to have that system anymore, or there's going to be a separate menu that's going to allow us to do that. It wouldn't be new zombies without there being new enemies, and we have two. We have the brand new terrifying MG wielding Sturmkrieger, which is this satanic version of a Juggernaut, which just looks absolutely frightening, but what a incredible design. And we also have the explosive Boom Shriers. I can already tell I'm not going to be a fan of those, but artistically, the direction that they've gone with this and the art style, the designs, it's all absolutely fantastic. Right now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section on everything we've spoken about, the way that the game mode's going to be changing, the way the game looks, the storyline. I'll be bringing a ton more videos talking about this and many other factors about this game over the next coming days. I can't thank you guys enough for sticking around and watching this video. If you enjoyed, please drop a like rating, subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on. If you guys love zombie merchandise, and I've got some incredible zombies posters that are all themed around Cold War and the original zombie storyline. Cool discounts happening throughout this month into the release of Vanguard, and there's even some free bonus items for those that pick up a Dark Ether movie poster. Thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate it a lot. I'll see you next time.